Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's segment of the Chesapeake Thrive Show. Today, I have Becca Miller here from the Up Center. Hi, Becca.
Good morning.
Good
Very
morning.
nice to join you this morning.
Thank you for coming out and talking with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. So today, we're focusing on our school-age support priority area with Chesapeake Thrives, and we're here for you from the Up Center. Can you tell me, what is the Up Center? What do you guys offer there?
So it sounds crazy to say this, but the Up Center has actually been around for over 150 years. I know I look really good for my age,
Right.
but it started back in 1883, and a lot of what they were doing at that point was helping families who needed like coal to heat their houses, helping kids find ways to school, things like that. Since then, we've partnered and evolved into what the Up Center is now, but the main part of what the Up Center does is partnering with families, with children, and with communities in order to really change the trajectory of kids' lives. And there are so many different programs that run through the Up Center. There is early childhood home visiting, where they work with birth, where they have a doula on staff. They work with birth all the way up through age 5 with parenting, education, and support. They also have a dad engagement program where they're really trying to help connect dads to the family unit. There's also a foster care program that works with connecting children in need to foster families. There is a sponsored homes program. There is a rent payee services program. There's outpatient counseling. There's all sorts of programs. But my baby in particular is the Team Up mentoring program, which serves youth between the ages of 6 and 17.
Well, that's good. So why is mentorship important for youth?
So I don't know if you remember years, probably longer ago than I thought it was, there was this series of videos that was coming out where they would line people up and they would say, take a step forward if you grew up with 2 parents in the household. Take a step forward if you had access to extracurricular activities. Take a step forward. And it really showed the disparity between people who didn't have access to those types of resources and those types of advantages. And what I kind of see mentorship as is it's a way to kind of fill those gaps and bring kids up to where they can meet those needs. For example, we have a young lady who's in our program currently who her mom is a single parent. She has an older brother who's special needs, who requires a lot of her time and effort. She's trying to raise both of them on her own, so she works all the time so that she can support them. And she's not really able to devote the full time and resource that this young lady really needs. But she has so much potential, and she's so smart, and she does so well in school. But we were able to match her with a mentor who, when she was coming up, was in the IB programs and then went on to certain college degrees and started her own business. And with having that, it gives her that extra boost where she sees somebody and she can say, okay, this person has done it. I can do it too. And this person can show me what steps I need to follow. They can encourage me along the way. They can support me. They can remind me and hold me accountable. So all of those kind of things really help fill those gaps.
Yeah, that sounds really good and excellent. So besides those, is there anything else that you feel like it adds value to the mentorship?
The individual relationship that you're able to build when you have that one-on-one mentoring bond is so beautiful. And part of why we ask for a longer commitment from our mentors, because we ask our volunteers, all of our mentors are volunteers, we ask them to commit for a minimum of a year, and that year-long period really gives them the chance to get to know each other in a way that is special and unique. And during that time, as the mentor and mentee are growing and developing this bond and becoming closer, they're really able to have a bigger impact because they know that kid and they know who that kid is and what that kid needs.
Yeah. So not only do they have an impact on the child, but do you feel like that mentorship has an impact on the community at large?
Absolutely. So we had another case where years and years and years ago, we had a mentor who was matched with a young man around 6 or 7 years old. And they were matched for a few years and things were going pretty well. And then he kind of hit those early teen years, kind of got pulled in a different direction by some people who were probably not the best influence on him. Fast forward into his later teen years, he ended up going to jail for a few years. Just last year, turned 20, got out of jail, and the very first person that he called was his Team Up mentor. His Team Up mentor, who's now, he was matched when they were 6, and now this young man is 20, gave him a job at his own company where he works and has been for the last 6 months working for him 6 days a week, showing up early, and has said that he doesn't ever want to slide backwards to where he was before. He doesn't ever want to live that life. He wants to do everything that he can to get himself on the straight and narrow and to really, really make that significant change. So even though he took that harsh left turn earlier on,
Right.
remembering that impact that his mentor had on him when he was younger, something clicked in his mind and he was like, this is the person who's gonna help me turn my life around now. So they've had a whole like reinventing of their mentoring relationship now that they're both technically in their adult years.
Right.
And it really does have the potential to fully change not just that one person's life, but if you think about any other things that could have happened on his path if he'd continued in that direction, has the ability to really change the lives of so many people.
Yeah, that's impactful. So what makes a child a good candidate for mentorship?
So when we think of kids, they are, and people in general, they are so full of potential, and all kids are full of potential. All people are full of potential. But just kind of like that young man that I was mentioning, there's that certain very delicate, sensitive time where other outside influences have the potential to take root and to kind of pull too hard in one direction. The best time where we want to get to these kids is before that happens, because if that seed is planted, even if things do go a little sideways, they have that ability to find their way back. But the biggest factor that makes a difference is actually the openness of the child, because the parent can want this resource for them all they want. The community can want this resource for the kid all they want. The mentor can be like, yes, let's do this, let's go. But if the kid is like, no, why am I hanging out with this adult that I've never met before? What is this new thing that we're trying to do? It can take some time, but the more open the child is to being able to have that influence and that impact and make those kind of changes, because it's not easy. If you're headed down the wrong path, or if you are struggling with things and now all of a sudden here comes this person who's like, I'm gonna help you, but it's gonna take some work.
Right.
They've got to be willing to do it, and they've got to be willing to just really be open to any kind of possibilities and have that positive potential mindset. Like, life might not be great right now, but if you can see that it has the ability to get great, that's where things can really shine.
Well, that's good. So if I were a parent or someone in the school system, how would I go about getting my child or the student connected with mentorship program?
So the best way to get kids involved, there's a phone number that can be called, but I will say the best way is to go to our website. Mm-hmm. So the upcenter.org is the main website for the Up Center, and then there's a drop down for youth where you can hit Team Up Mentoring, and right on there it gives you all the information about our program, and at the bottom there's a button that they can click that says they're interested in enrolling their child. That sends their information to us, and then we call and reach out. We get a little bit more information, and then we do in-home interviews with the family to kind of figure out who is this kid and how can we help them best.
Oh, that's good. It's good that this support is in place that is able to help the children, but what if I wanted to be a volunteer? Do you have a need for those right now, or how could I become involved?
We absolutely do. Our biggest need actually is male mentors. So that is not to say we don't cherish our female mentors. Our female mentors are amazing, but we tend to get a lot more females interested on the mentoring side than we do males, and we have a lot more boys on our wait list than we do girls. So the need for male mentorship is just so strong. And honestly, the best way to do it is exactly the same as the way for parents to get their kids involved, is to go to that website, theupcenter.org, follow the Team Up Mentoring drop down, and there's also a button that you can click to say that you're interested in becoming a mentor. And then we follow that same process. We reach out, we put them through interview, and we do background checks to make sure that everything is safe, get them fully trained. And then our number one focus is making sure that we're putting the right puzzle pieces together. So valuing a mentor's specific unique strengths and matching them with a child that they will be able to really pour into as strongly as possible.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you for joining today and let us know about the mentorship program and how we can get connected by visiting the Up Center's website and just offering that support and services for not only the youth, but the community overall. So thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Emily, and thank you for all that you guys do here at Chesapeake Thrives.
No problem. And thank you all for joining us for today's segment of the Chesapeake Thrive Show.